someone said recently, actually, I realised the common theme in your movies is it's always about family. I sort of thought, but isn't every film, in a way, somehow about, the belonging or like what group you're part of, if you're outside of it, if you're inside of it, were you trying to heal it or you're trying to, reintegrate or whatever it is. And so this to me felt like a family story more than just a woman's story, that represents millions of people out there who are really, struggling from having to care for each other and a system that doesn't help support them to do that. But you also get it. And I think that's what the kind of movie, just the whole point of the film was really, it was just to represent those moments when you're pushed into a corner and you make an impulsive decision because, you've had enough. Oh,
hey,
together.
How are you guys?
You're together. Hello. That's nice.
Two of us, two of you.
Yeah, well, together we wanted to match the energy that you two bring. Yeah. Thank you both so much for sharing your time with us today. Congratulations on the film. It's truly wonderful, and it's also so harrowing, and Vanessa, your performance is just incredible throughout. So we just wanted to say thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for being so lovely about it. And for not getting it.
She is amazing. You are absolutely right.
Absolutely. And speaking of Vanessa's amazing performances, Lynette, Benjamin, what was it about her that you were like, that's it, that's my Lynette for this film?
Well, we actually found the project together. So it was something we've been looking for a film to make since we'd worked together on The Crown and enjoyed that process so much. So we discovered Willy's book together and was like, this is exactly the film that we both felt connected to in terms of character and then in terms of the actual the story. So it's it took a little while, but but then finally we found the right story to make together as creative collaborators.
It's so I think one of the scenes that stands out to us so much when we were watching the film, Vanessa, is when Lynette is breaking into the car and when she finally has that moment of getting it to start, and there's that rush of excitement but also fear, and in that moment of like, I can't believe I'm doing this. We'd love if you could walk us through that moment and making that moment happen when you were making this film.
Yeah. But truthfully didn't know how to operate a Mercedes like that. So it wasn't that hard to imagine. I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? But yeah, we, as Ben was just saying, we did The Crown together and Ben really helped me create Margaret, and we really went on that journey with this sort of royal princess. And so the idea of, we deliberately wanted to pick someone that was almost opposite ends of the privileged kind of spectrum, and Lynette really was. So this idea of, I guess the people talk a lot about the book and they say this is someone that makes a series of wrong decisions, and in life minute to minute you make these impulsive decisions, and sometimes you regret them and you have to grieve it and get over it, and sometimes you make good ones. But in a system that doesn't support the people that have to make these big decisions all the time of if I don't turn up at work one day, then I lose my job and then I can't pay my rent, and the stakes are so high. So I guess the movie is more like an allegory. So even her getting the Mercedes is a decision she makes in the moment that is based on years of accumulated stress and rage, actually, at people that Scott represents, which is, the people that have more power and privilege than her. And in that moment, she goes, I've had enough. But that is essentially a wrong decision because you're stealing a car. So it's really complex because you can feel why she does it, but that it's not something that anyone could condone. And it also makes her, that that's going to get her into worse trouble, but you also get it. And I think that's what the kind of movie, just the whole point of the film was really, it was just to represent those moments when you're pushed into a corner and you make an impulsive decision because you've had enough.
It's like that sort of moment in Falling Down, when sort of Michael Douglas gets he eventually had enough of the traffic jam and sort of storms out the car. It sort of felt like that as a kind of breaking point. And I guess our job was to make sure that we'd done enough work up until that moment to understand the sort of the messiness and the complexity of that character in that situation, and then suddenly why she would do that. But I guess in the actual taking of the car, we went back and forward, just like, well, what would any normal human being do in that situation? We didn't want to make it a too heightened. So yeah, how do you even start this car, and then what am I even going to do with this car once I have it? And so you're sort of really going real time through those thoughts of that character reacting in the moment.
And one of the things that we also love so much about this film is this is another film this year, Vanessa, where you're going to extreme lengths for a loved one. So what was that experience like working with Zach and really building that bond?
Oh God, he's just heaven on earth. He was our shining star through all of it, because we did a lot of night shoots and we were working all through the night, so we became quite mad, I think, with some of it. But he was just the best. I mean, he's not only the most amazing scene partner, because he really just is never not real, whereas I'm faking it all the time, whereas he's just so real. And we really became like brother and sister. Like, he calls me his little sister, and we FaceTime all the time. And he was just, he was total heaven. But yeah, someone said recently, actually, I realized the common theme in your movies is it's always about family. And I sort of thought, but isn't every film, in a way, somehow about, the belonging, or like what group you're part of, if you're outside of it, if you're inside of it, were you trying to heal it, or you're trying to, reintegrate, or whatever it is. And so this to me felt like a family story more than just a woman's story, that represents millions of people out there who are really, are struggling from having to care for each other and a system that doesn't help support them to do that. I mean, Zach's parents, who we became really close with, they were huge contributors to how they had to fight for Zach, and how much pushback they had when they tried to, do the best for their child. And so there was a lot of them in the film as well. So yeah, Zach was amazing.
Yeah, and we were both
absolutely
huge fans of Peanut Butter Falcon.
Oh yeah, he's the movie star.
And it's so great to actually, he was a star in that film, and it's so great to, make another film where we can bring Zach in, bring Zach into
we were walking down the street in Portland, and someone a band came rushing up to us and ignored me completely. I was like, wow, Zach, you're amazing.
He's a big star.
He was the star,
Yeah. He was the one that kept it, like you said, he was the one that kept us going at like 3 a.m. in the morning. He'd get on the bullhorn and sort of like do a rousing speech to the crew. Come on,
come
can
on,
do this.
Guys, 2 more hours.
That's amazing.
That's so awesome. Guys, thank you all so much for your time today, and we're so excited for this film to come out so that everyone can get to experience it as well. And Vanessa, we're really excited to see more family continue next year as well, when you really put those Avengers through the ringer as well.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Thank you both so much.
Thank you so
Bye.
much.
Bye.
Bye.